Welcome back to Black Dragon Gaming. This is Tyranny. Still. Last time we left off... Oh, is that the chance I have to hit him? Shit, he's fast. Oh yeah. His dodge is insane. So is his parry. Alright, fair enough. Well. What's mine? Two-handed... Where's my two-handed? There it is. Oh, that's not that bad. Fair enough. I thought mine would have been way lower than his. Anyway, yeah. Last time we left off, when we left off, we were just about to fight Bled and Mark. Now, let's do it. Don't freeze. What are you doing? There we go. There we go. Let's do that, and then that. No, first that. And that. Okay. Ooh, that's does a lot of damage, actually. Wow. He's going down pretty quick. That's kind of surprising. Where are you gonna disappear to? There you are. Oh, man. Alright, Siren, go over here. Me deal with this. Alright. Where is he? There he is. Okay. Get him. Oi! You're not allowed to drink potions. Only I'm allowed to drink potions. Fuck you. Come on. Alright, you're immune to Terrified, eh? Well, you're probably not immune to Gravelight, so... Let's do this. Not really, no, actually. You're kind of... You know, you're actually a little bit weaker than I thought you'd be, honestly. Oh, got a wound there. Interesting. Burn, motherfucker.
Will do.
Come on. Alright. Let's finish him off with a rhyme spike in the booty. Come on. Or I can miss. That works too. Golden glowering eyes wide with surprise. The Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me.
Why did I just gain Wrath with Tunon for that?
Brightness is blinding.
Did I just absorb his power?
If you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in a lawful manner.
Righto. Don't make me fight you two. Don't do it. Just don't. That will upset me. Deeply. Wow. Really? That's all I got? Shit. I figured I'd get another artifact from him. Oh well. I suppose I got his early. Where's Siren? Oh, there she is.
Archon, change has come to the Tears, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach. The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tears.
All the Fatebinders? All the nobles of the Tears? I am now Archon of
You
the
will
Tears.
henceforth
Ooh.
define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tears, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos.
Oh, yes. I really like the mechanical clinking they did to on the kneeling. That's
Go
really
and
nice.
Represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tears require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule.
Righto.
Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Awesome. I'm rich. I like how my character sort of like glowed a little bit there.
Royal Service Archon, but there is a shadow over these proceedings.
Oh,
Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kairos is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers marching on the Tears as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
what would you recommend then?
Power begets power. A demonstration aimed at Kairos herself would give her a reason to regroup and consider her options. It would have to be a display of incredible proportions.
An edict proclaimed on the Northern Empire should do the trick.
Yes, destruction on that scale might serve your purpose. The North will tremble under your forceful hand. Return to the mountain spire and see your will given shape and consequence. Show Kairos the face of true power.
Righto. Alright. What did I get here? Oh, I thought I gave that to... Huh, that's weird. Alright, well, you get that then. Ruby, opal, moonstone. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's go talk to my fate binder, shall we? I want to see what they have to say. Come on, then. Right, so... I don't know what's more impressive, that Tunon humbled himself before you, or that you managed to get so deep under his skin. I've tried baiting him into arguments in the past for my own amusement, but you made an occupation out of it. Try and keep Ash on a short leash. I think the old man likes knowing his constraints, and no one sets limitations more efficiently than Kairos, but I think you'll manage. I have my doubts that the Voices of Narad is dead. That just seems like something he would have planned for a long time ago. You sure you got the right Archon? What can I do for you? How do you think the court will fare without Blood and Mark? The court ought to learn the lesson that the Empire already knows. Everyone is replaceable. As long as we keep that in mind, I'm not so worried about the court. Fair enough. I know. What about you? I think you're rogueless? No, Nunavol. So you convinced even the mighty Tunon to bow and accept your version of justice. Best of luck assuming your new title, Katagus. I cannot say if I will follow you to whatever ends you propose, but I will observe and judge my own course. Good on you for sparing Ash. A little mercy goes a long way in these troubled times. Wield him like the weapon that he is, but wield him with care. He is older and more brittle than he looks. I know that I will sleep easier with the voice of Narat dispatch. Whenever he visited the court, I got the impression that his adherence to the law was some perverse joke that only he understood. Alright. How do you think the court will fare without Blood and Mark? For all its wisdom, the court places too much emphasis on fear and paranoia to keep legal precedent in check. It'll be interesting to see how we navigate this new world you've carved out for us. The court does not lack for teeth and claws when needed, but for now our shadowy blade is gone. Fair enough. What about you, Rogalus? Compelled the adjudicator himself to kneel, did you? Impressive work. And the last Archon who did that, well, enough said. If you must hold on to Ash, keep him in line. Just remember that you are the third master to whom he swore in his life and fealty. Better for all our sakes that the voice of Narat left this world. I always thought that Kairos used him to thin the herd, and that anyone in the hierarchy was fair game. Speculation, of course. You look as though you have questions for me to untangle. Ask. I am feeling generous. Okay, what about Blood and Mark, then? Better than ever, I hope. Without the dependable aid of an unkillable assassin, I'm sure we'll stumble along the way. The court itself will have to be stronger if it expects to survive, and that sort of change is always welcome. Fair enough. Well, let's get out of here, then. Let's go proclaim an edict, shall we? Can't believe that was over in 10 minutes. Well, we'll head over to the Sunset Spire first to pick up the what's it called? The plans for the artifact, or I think it's the artifact plans that we finished, right? I can't remember. Should be something like that. Regardless, that's what we'll do. Ow. After I pop basically every joint in my body. I hope none of you are squeamish out there. Sitting down too long. That's what causes this. There we go. Much better. Alright, come on. You can do it. Tea. I was really hoping that, there'd be a... what you call it? A mark for... a core for Blood and Mark. And that's what I was trying to say. There we go. 6... 10, 11... Apparently we're missing 3, I think. Oh well. Whatever. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Hey, mate. How's your research going? Heart's blood. Destroyed, okay. I want you to research something. Well, let's just do items then, I guess. Okay. In that case, let's head back to the mountain spire. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Although, what have I got? The infirmary has a bunch of stuff for me. The forge has a bunch of stuff for me. I'll collect it all in between episodes. It'll be fun. Anyway, let's go to the mountain spire and proclaim ourselves an edict. Edict of Malediction. I wonder what that one's all about. I guess we'll see. I think it's the only one I haven't seen that we have. I should go in the Edict of Fire sometime soon. That'd be nice. Get the burning library back on its feet. That'd be pretty cool to do. Come on. Let's do this already. I suppose we'll probably have to go there anyway to see if we can't find some lore on something or another. It just seems like that's what's gonna happen, you know? Okay. The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind into its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing your commandments to the farthest reaches of the tiers and beyond. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? Opportunity. I can feel it like a coaxing breeze. Not since Graven Ash stood against Kairos has anyone made such a dent in the Overlord's defenses. It has been an honor serving at your side. Come what may, I'm ready to face it. This is new territory for us all. You're the first to strike a blow directly at the Overlord. Make sure it counts. Hope you don't mind if I stand back and take notes. By all means, continue. You've done great things to get here. Just imagine what you could do if you continued on this vein. Show Kairos what we do to tyrants. I'm ready to stand at your side and see it through. Well, if I don't show Kairos my ability to cast the Edict as more than a one-time thing, the attacks will never stop. Another Edict to plague us. Contagious. The world has seen enough of these horrors visited upon its people, but I agree that nothing less will tip the scales. Have at it then. Alright. Northern Empire. Storm, stone, malediction. Misfortune and bad luck. I like that. Shit, yeah. Let's do it. Fuck you. It's like a province-wide curse. Hell yeah. Righto. By casting the Edict of Malediction on the northern capital, you consign the Overlord City to an invisible plague of misfortune and calamity. The foundation of once proud buildings fracture under some unseen pressure, and whole districts empty as the city's infrastructure crumbles. Laborers brought in to repair the damage find their work undone hours or even minutes later. Citizens leave the city a ghost town and whisper amongst themselves how Kyrus could allow such a curse to infect their homeland. As chaos ensued in the Northern Kingdom, the armies marching on the tiers received an unprecedented order. The armies were to fall back to the capital and ensure the safety of its people from the edict. For the first time in Kyrus' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon questions would be asked in a hushed breath across the lands about what new and terrible power had emerged that could force the hand of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kyrus' decree, and all the tiers now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. The Scarlet Corps may have been mighty in numbers, but that didn't stop you from thoroughly scattering them, cutting off the Serpent's head and sending each of the gangs howling back to the chaos they once sowed. How the remnants of the Horde occupy themselves without a war to fight becomes a topic for nightmares. Though it was thought the disfavored would never rally under another general, but by enlisting Graven Ash to your cause, you managed the next best thing, controlling the Archon to harness the strength of the Northern Empire. You reorganized your old-fashioned regiments with a new chain of command, placing yourself at its highest authority. The Legion's victory spread beyond count, and your soldiers trained hard, preparing for the retaliation to come. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sowed discontent are vanquished, and their rebellion brought to a decisive end. Any lingering question of who is the true ruler of the tiers is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Word of your success spreads beyond the tiers as well. Even the most distant corners of the Empire whisper of the Fatebinder who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. Uniting the tiers under the banner of the disfavored was never your directive, and yet you performed it admirably, consolidating the Overlord's forces under your rule and grooming the tiers for their place in a new order. The same people who once hurled curses across a siege soon learned to think of themselves as a part of a greater whole extending beyond their modest borders. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the earth around the Stone Sea finally settles, leading everyone to believe the realm of Azure will return to its former glory. But the ritual used to end the edict blighted the land to such a degree that nothing will grow, no matter how hard anyone tries. With determination, some are able to start small seedlings, but nothing ever comes of it. The memory of Cairn is a great force of devastation. As a great force of devastation remains as a monument of the inert rock. Most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone, as the people of Azure begin to slowly reclaim the land that was torn asunder by his power. As the strongest and oldest of their kind, the death of the Stonestalkers is a blow to Beastman culture. Their demise also brings centuries of oral traditions to an abrupt end. The local tribes never recover from the terrible loss. I feel like this is like the ending, actually. I figured that we'd actually get to fight a war or something. With Cairn's essence preserved and the lands of Azure permanently blighted, the Earthshakers return to the disfavored. While their reputation isn't what it used to be, their success in dealing with such a decisive blow to the Scarlet Corps by removing their main source of food has earned back the respect of the Legion. The Earthshakers are accepted back into the ranks of the disfavored, once again becoming part of the army that helps subdue the tiers. With the Unbroken all but destroyed, the former citizens of Stalwart threatened to slide into lawlessness. Kyrus' forces stationed at Sentinel Stand managed to quell the worst of the uprisings, but peace under the nation's new leadership is resisted at every turn. You put the last of Graven Ash's family to the sword, ensuring the end of his long and decorated lineage. Though you often wonder if more could have been done to prevent the horrible deed, you don't bother yourself wondering for too long. Though it takes some time to recover from the devastation of the Edict of Storms, the Bladegrave begins its slow march towards healing. The realm of Stalwart may never resemble its former glory, but the land is not so blasted that something new and better can't be built atop the bones of the past. The Regent bloodline has ended. With it, new traditions and legacies spring to life. Your travels never took you to the Burning Library, and this leaves the Edict of Fire undisturbed, consigning the Vellum Citadel to a future engulfed by perpetual flame. With their arcane knowledge beyond reach, the School of Ink and Quill falls into deep decline, your name becoming a curse in their embittered ranks. By leaving Lethian's Crossing under disfavored command, you ensured the city's cooperation and the productivity during the remainder of the conquest. The crafting of superior weapons comes to be the touchstone by which Lethian's Crossing is remembered. After the war, people speak of it as the Forge Days, when the city was a lump of unformed metal waiting to be shaped. Damn. By returning the Magebane Helm to Lethian's Crossing, you ensured the Bane would not be able to get into the city. For the time being, the threat of a Bane incursion is dispelled. The settlers are grateful to go about their lives unburdened by this peril, though knowing how close they came to annihilation haunts them. They hope that the security you provided endures. With the disfavored left in control of Lethian's Crossing, the production of iron remains where it belongs, safe in northern hands. The chorus and tiersmen alike fights with inferior bronze, and over the time the disadvantage grows to a crippling vulnerability. By enacting an edict on Vindrian's Well, you announced your power to the world and showed Kairos' forces what you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered the army before you, it sent a message to Kairos. A new Archon is born. While the edict dissipated, its effect will always be felt as the first true threat to Kairos' rule. Graven Ash continues to lead the disfavored, this time bowing to your superior command. At first, the old general balks at your instructions, but in time grows to trust your judgment without question. Working together, you bring much-needed order to the lawless tiers. Killing the voices of Nerat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags at you. Though you witnessed his death, you can't help but wonder if the voices of Nerat is done with you. Tunon the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or the patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. The death of Bled and Mark deprived the world of a most capable murder. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance at the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. Bled and Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. Not content to enjoy the fruits of victory, Barrack positions himself among the rank and file of your supporters, organizing troops around their strengths and making sure each pulls their weight. His armor clings to him as doggedly as ever, though he wears it with a straighter back and a lighter step than he did before. A team of loyal camp followers polish his plates to a respectable sheen each morning, and the smell that escapes his visor is notably improved. Medals of valor decorate his breastplate, and adoring supporters drape garlands of flowers about his pauldrons. Life is good for the towering soldier. Verse finds herself adrift in the relative peace that follows your conquest. She returns to the field and seeks out young women from rural communities, imparting her fighting skills to only the most passionate. Over the course of many apprentices, she follows the voices of Nerat's example and forms a personal army, the Callous Sisterhood. Verse proves to be a strict teacher, and you hire her services often, confident she'll take any assignment where there's blood to be spilled. Lantry keeps a close watch over you, scribbling his accounts of your deeds and accomplishments. In his tireless quest to fill the chronicle with history and knowledge, he follows you even into his twilight years, and together you learn much about the world. You pretend not to notice Lantry's waning strength, though you find yourself pausing mid-sentence to let his writing catch up. He recognizes your generous ruse and appreciates it in silence. Damn, that sucks. Ebb remains in your company, where she seeks out promising recruits among your supporters. After recognizing some obvious talent, she takes on a team of apprentices in a new school of would-be tidecasters. Though she often jokes that the school is bound to fail with her at the helm, her students think otherwise, as do many of the dozens of hopefuls who come begging for her tutelage. With no desire to remain in the company of humans, Kills and Shadows returns to the wilderness and seeks out her own kind. She discovers a haggard community of beastmen who abound in the realms of Haven and Azure, only to be enslaved by Kairos' forces. Out of this rabble of defectors, she forges a tribe, their nomadic ways respecting no established border or law. They raid villages and caravans where possible, glutting on the spoils and boasting of their severed ties with the human world. Though a lord's bounty follows in the tribe's wake, no human can survive the hunt for its leader. Siren goes quiet over time, speaking little and forgoing her songs as she distances herself from your military. One day, she simply walks out of camp and makes for the wilderness of the Tears. Rumors reach your ear that Siren has occupied an abandoned mountainside temple, her vow of silence drawing a small group of respectful followers. You leave her in peace. Though you once professed loyalty to Kairos, popular belief holds that the world cannot support two overlords, and you now represent a threat to the established order. This leaves your future in question, but with one certainty: when Kairos retaliates, you will be ready. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you can see hints of the Northern Empire just beyond the mountains. At your command, horns shout a triumphant cry across the valley, heralding the end of one long campaign and the beginning of another. Is that it? Please tell me there's more. No, I want more. Fuck! Damn it! Why? But I wanted more! Damn. That kind of sucks. Well, I suppose that's it then. thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll have more of this sort of thing on the channel in the future. I'm thinking about Icewind Dale 2 next, maybe? I don't know. But either way, thank you, and please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. I promise you there will be more.